So my brother-in-law, he comes into town. He's on Christmas break, college Christmas break. And I tell you what, he is torn to freaking pieces. And I don't mean to laugh. Actually, I kind of do mean to laugh. But anytime a family member is hurting, you know, I hurt a little bit. But it's still funny because what he's going through, he's some young kid, young, dumb, and full of cum, as they say. He's off of college. He's been stuck to this one girl, high school sweetheart. He's hurting, man. Here, let me tell you the story. He comes storming in the front door and he sees me and he just has to get away. He has something to get off his chest. So we go to the other room and immediately he starts to water up, man. I'm telling you, it's like Niagara Falls. Oh, man. And the first thing I do is I hold on to his shoulder. I'm like, bro, whoa, get it together. What the hell is going on? I'm so hurt right now. You know the girl I dated for a couple years? She dumped me, man, for another guy. What do I do, man? What do I do? You know what you're gonna do? Screw her! What? She's trash! She's a bitch! Yeah, you're gonna go to that Christmas party next weekend, you're gonna find the hottest chick, take her home, have your way with her, and then the next day you're gonna dump her just for the hell of it! And you know why? Because we're guys, and that's what guys do! Unless you're happily married, of course. So today I'm going to show you vapors out there how to build on this Aromamizer RDTA black version. That's right, it's the newest version and it's on the Velocity style deck. But the build I'm going to show you is a vertical build because vertical builds really make this thing pop. This is actually my favorite build. Oh, before I vape on her and talk about how great she is, I am going to show you how to build on her. So you ready? Are you ready, Teddy? Well, let's go. Okie, spanking dokey. So the things that I'm going to be using today to do this build, here we go. All the way to the far right, a pair of pliers. In the middle, a pair of wire cutters. And all the way to the far left, I'm going to be using this Curo Coiler 3.0 from the Curo Coiler set. 3.0 meaning it's using a 3mm rod. Also in the mix is some of this organic Japanese cotton that I'm going to be using for my wicking material. The wire that I'm going to be using today to do this build is this A1 24 gauge Kanthal. And last but not least, the tank that I'm going to be building on today is the black version of the Aromamizer RDTA. So check it out. Okay, all the stuff you guys see right now, the stuff I just showed you that I'm going to be using to do this build, in the description I'll have links to where you can get all this stuff. Alright, first things first, you want to cut two 6-inch pieces of this A1 24 gauge Kanthal. There they are, the two 6-inch pieces. Alrighty, so I got my first 6-inch piece of wire and all I'm going to do is slide her through that hole right here. And about the last inch, you want to hold her down with your thumb. Just like that. Now a crucial part to this, you want to pull it to the right of that bit. And then what you want to do is take this top cap with the hole in the center, and that hole in the center fits right into this 3mm bit. You want to turn this counterclockwise, and what that screw does is it keeps everything in line and makes sure that wire turns evenly around that bit. So counterclockwise, you want to screw it. So that's a total of 7 wraps. Pull the top off. And all you got to do is just straighten this in. This is probably the hardest part for you newbie builders. Just pull it up, straighten it out. So when you go to install this coil, you want to pinch this together. Pinch it together and install it. But first we got to cut this lead right here. Cut a little bit shorter. So I've got her pinched together. I'm going to cut this lead just a little bit shorter, but you want to make sure this lead is longer than this lead down here. Again, pinching this coil, we're going to go ahead and install this build into this Velocity deck. And it should slide right in, boys and girls. Easy peasy, what a sleazy. And all you do from there is tighten down the connections. Pull the slack out of the other side. Tighten that connection down. Clip each of those leads. Next up, we got to use this bit to straighten the coil out. Turn a little bit, pull it out. Get it the way you want it. I mean, she's looking right like that, but it can always be better. And when we go in to heat her up and pinch her together with the pliers, I mean, it's going to look even nicer. So that's about as even as she's going to get right now. What we're going to go ahead and do is repeat the exact same process. Alrighty, so we got our second coil installed, and with the method I just showed you, it's super easy, man. I tell you, once you learn how to wrap each one counterclockwise, that is the biggest trick to the book for this installation. And if you do it counterclockwise for each wrap, look at it. There's no crisscross. She's going to fit in there perfect. And remember, if you use a bit, it's going to be even better. It's going to be even easier to do the installation. But look at the clearance, man. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is screw this sucker on a mod. We're going to get these coils glowing from the inside out, and then we're going to install our wicks. Oh man, that is gorgeous right there. And another thing I love about this is look at that. You got plenty of room to get in there with your pliers. You know, it's just easy. So here's the first coil that I pulled out. Okay, I pulled it off the deck, and you know, I just like to do it. It's a long way, but it's the best way because you got all the control in the world. I'm gonna go and install my wick. So the wick that I'm doing today, it's kind of like the Scottish roll method, but it's not nearly as tight. So this right here is gonna be the bottom portion of the wick. I'm gonna go ahead and eyeball it and cut it about right here. And then what I'm going to do from there is use these scissors and fluff the bottom out. About something like that right there. Next step, we're going to go ahead and reinstall this coil into the deck. Next step, push the bottom of this wig down into the cup. You do not want to force it down. It needs to be nice and loose, nice and loose. That way the juice can feed up to the wick, to the coil. Ooh yeah, easy peasy. Now from there, you're going to want to cut the wick about right here, about even with the two posts. Maybe a little bit above, just slightly. Fluff that out. And then repeat the same exact thing on the other side. Uninstall this coil and then insert the wick. Time to juice her up and vapor. Ooh, vape goodness, baby. All right, so that right there, boys and girls, is how to build a vertical build, dual vertical macro coil build. Okay, she's vaping right now, like I said, around 0.3 ohms, and I got her set to 40 watts, which is on the lower end for this build. You know, between 40 and 55 watts is my sweet spot for this build in this resistance, but I got the airflow wide open. I took the silicone sleeve off. Don't need it. Ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah, 40 watts. Here we go. And I tell you what, some of these people out there, vapors, are saying, oh, this thing has a flavor sucks. Baloney. You ain't building it right. If you think the flavor sucks on this, with a dual 24 gauge like this, something is off in your head. I'm kidding. Everybody's got their own subjective opinions. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. Now I got her set to 50 watts, which is my personal favorite. That's what I've been really sitting at. Like I said, between 40 and 55 watts. But 50 watts to me, it gives me the right amount of warmth, the right amount of density. I don't ever get dry hits, and I get flavor and vapor for days. So I hope that helps. If you own an Aromamizer RDTA Velocity style deck and you haven't tried this build yet, give her a go and let me know. But I guarantee it, you're not going to be disappointed. This is Rip Trippers, and remember, smoking is dead, vaping is the future, and the future is now.